But our next performer is Rachel Miller, and what you need to know about Rachel, she is an inspiration. Man, I just got serious. Rachel, like the minute I met Rachel, I was like, how do I become more like this person? And let's pretend it was Jesus in her I wanted to become like, because that's what I'm supposed to want. But Rachel is a published author, and she used to write speeches, but she's also an aspiring stand-up.
Oh, yes.
Right? You've done stand-up?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, not on purpose.
You've done stand-up.
Oh, I have.
Thank
at
you.
events.
I'm a bigger fan of you than
I
you,
did do it on
that's
purpose.
Great.
Yeah.
But Rachel's going to be our storyteller of the night. And I also, there was an announcement I was supposed to make last time and I forgot. We want to thank Luke and Bryce and Elise, because this is actually the home that they live in, for hosting us tonight. You can hear like the floor creaking. Two of them are leaving on a big trip tomorrow at like 7 a.m. So they may be packing. Just never mind us. No, pardon our dust. Rachel Miller.
Thank you, Sherry. Yes, I've written a book called When It Hurts to Hope. It's on Amazon. It's very good. I hope you get it. If you haven't read it, but I am going. It's a spiritual book. It's a serious book, and tonight I'm just going to subject you all to a bit of nonsense that has nothing to do with that book. So. Technically, for a number of years, my family was in a cult. Like, you know it's a cult when there are multiple lawsuits and best-selling memoirs and a documentary made about it, which are all true. It's called the IBLP, the Institute of Basic Life Principles, run by a gentleman named Bill Gothard. Yeah. But we were like cult adjacent. We were never like super in deep with it, but it had a massive impact on me growing up. Along with that, I was in a church for about 10 years. My family, we were all in a church that were self-proclaimed happy fundamentalists, which I guess meant they just delighted in preaching hellfire and brimstone. Like, I don't really know what that meant, but I've been exploring some of those memories of growing up and the power of belief that children can absorb. Like, I remember going to a small group with my friends one night, and my friend Andrew showed me a record collection. I'd never seen a record collection before, and there were records by the Beatles in there, and I knew enough to know that the Beatles were evil. Uh-oh. And I thought to myself, Mr. Fontenoy's going to hell. And I was 10. So, there's nothing redemptive about this story. It's just a bit of fun, because it wasn't all bad. The collection I'm going to write someday is just story/essays that I'm loosely calling Happy Fundamentalists. This is about my brother Isaac, and it's called Movie Night. Dad, 6-year-old Isaac pleaded, can we please go see that new movie? We were on vacation, which meant relaxed standards, which meant more media than usual. Isaac had just popped a freshly rewound VHS into the VCR. Did I get that right? Is that the right? Okay, it's been a long time since I've written those words. It was one of the rare Disney movies we were allowed to watch. I don't remember which, but it almost certainly starred dogs or forest creatures. Those Disney movies were generally acceptable. Occasionally, you had an animal dip its toe into the world of debauchery. Winnie the Pooh was prone to gluttony. Robin Hood robbed the rich to feed the poor, but God didn't seem too concerned with those vices. Princess movies, on the other hand, were dripping with wickedness. Reaching back into the depths of my memory as an 8-year-old, I've compiled a list of reasons why Disney princess movies were banned in our household. Aladdin. Jasmine, with an exposed midriff, snuck out with a boy behind her father's back. Beauty and the Beast. Belle was shacking up with a beast who wasn't her husband. Surprisingly, the fact that he was a beast didn't seem to be the issue here. The Little Mermaid. Ariel had a rebellious spirit and disrespected male authority. Even worse, she wore a clamshell bikini top. Snow White. Sorcery, a murder plot, and a premarital kiss. Sleeping Beauty, another premarital kiss. Cinderella, truth be told, I remember watching this one. Cinderella, busy as a bee with her mopping and sewing and serving, was a great role model for future homemakers. And her ball gown was quite modest. Pocahontas, pantheism and a self-confident, assertive female lead. Mulan, cross-dressing. Anyway, back to Isaac and the VHS humming along in the player. Before the feature film, a handful of previews had rolled, and one of them had caught my brother's fancy. While all of us liked movies and cartoons, Isaac loved them. Between ages 8 and 11, Isaac spoke exclusively in movie dialogue. That's like barely an exaggeration. Dad, he repeated, can we please go see that new movie? Dad was in his favorite spot in the world, semi-horizontal in a lazy boy, feet propped up, his hand on the remote like a cowboy grasping his gun, ready to make a sudden move. Dad was a world-class channel surfer, and our 80-ish minute commitment to a movie set him on edge. His thumb twitched as it hovered over the up and down buttons. Jerry Seinfeld was describing my dad when he said, men don't care what's on TV, they only care what else is on TV. What's that, buddy? Dad focused his attention on his cinephile son. Isaac's big blue eyes were framed by a curly crop of hair. He bounced with unbridled enthusiasm. I want to see that new movie so bad. Can we please go see it? Dad immediately thought like an adult. We were on vacation in an unknown town before the days when we carried Google and GPS systems in our pockets. Plus, movies were not a cheap outing for our family of, at that time, 7. My parents had a few more after this story happened. Money multiplied by hassle times convincing mom whatever movie Isaac had chosen was as wholesome as a slice of Ezekiel bread. Better not. I don't know, he shrugged in Isaac's direction. I'm not even sure where we'd go see that here. Undeterred, Isaac patted Dad's knee and reassured him, Dad, it's coming soon to a theater near you. The 90s were simpler times, right down to the marketing copy. Such a breezy, laissez-faire call to action. Coming soon to a theater near you. More like a hint of potential action. You want to see this movie? Great. We'll be around. Somewhere. Don't worry. It'll be close. No urgent demand to order pre-sale tickets by scanning a QR code, creating your 700th online account, and paying 18% in processing fees, receiving for your troubles a 17-part email journey for Marvel's next blockbuster, which you dutifully send to your spam folder where recent Marvel movies belong.
Amen.
Oh,
Amen.
snap.
Amen.
Sorry. Jordan, do you like the recent ones?
No.
Okay.
No, you're fine. That's good. That's good.
Isaac was a believer in the fate of movies coming to theaters near you, trusting that a dream is a wish your heart makes, and if you wish hard enough to see this movie, somehow it will come to pass. Dad, on the other hand, had not been sprinkled by the same fairy dust as his son. Already dozing off, he nipped the theater outing in the bud, assuring us that we'd get to it later, buddy. As Isaac's hopes and dreams were dashed, a single tear rolled down his pouty face. He turned back to the staticky screen and followed along as Winnie the Pooh stumbled around the blustery 100-acre woods in search of his next hit of honey. We munched on microwave popcorn instead of the real fake stuff from the theaters. In my adult imagination, I imagine the patron saint of movies, Nicole Kidman.
Come on.
Soft smiling. Soft smiling on Isaac's sad countenance, whispering in comfort. Somehow, heartbreak feels good in a place like this. I guess not all marketing copy is bad these days. Thank you.